I cannot tell a difference in the fabric. Can you? I think it's brioche. Welcome to the Wise Owl Knits podcast. Thanks for joining me today. Is it brioche or is it not? You'll have to wait till a little bit later to find out. I'll talk about that later on in the podcast. But first of all, we're going to talk about the Cowboy Knit-Along. The Cowboy Knit-Along begins on Labor Day, so just a few weeks away actually. That's kind of hard to believe, isn't it? Time just keeps slipping by quicker and quicker. Starts on Labor Day, ends on Halloween. It is a knit-along using my pattern called the Cowboy, which came out last January for the Knitting McPurley retreat in Dallas, Texas. There are kits available from Mystery Mouse Yarns, and I need to pick my colors too and get those ordered. I'm kind of running behind on that. And there are also bags from Susan at Delightful Works. This bag will be a prize. There will also be a gift certificate from my website and some yarn from Mystery Mouse Yarn as prizes too. You can play along on Instagram by using the hashtag Cowboy Knit-Along 2025, or we've also got a Telegram group, and I will link that in the description below. So either way is fine. I know not everybody's on Instagram, not everybody's on Telegram. Not everybody's on anything, so I chose the two that I use the most, and either one is fine. And if you do play along on Instagram, email me a picture of your finished item too, just because I don't totally trust those hashtags. Sometimes I think it doesn't show you all of them. So put the hashtag and put your pictures on Instagram, but then also email me a copy of it at Shawl@wiseowlknits.com. So I hope you all will join us for this. It should be really, really fun. I think I've got the long sleeve version, which is on the picture, but I think this time I'm going to make a short sleeve version. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm thinking my main color is going to be Holly's new color, the Ghost Rider. I think that's the name of it. Hopefully I'm right. But anyway, you can go over to Mystery Mouse Yarns and check out the yarns. Go to Delightful Works and order yourself a bag, and links to both of those will be in the description below too. My designs in progress include what I'm wearing, which is the beads tee in the DK version, and this one I used my gauge switcheroo, it's on Knitting McPurley's website as a worksheet, but I have an automated version on my website. So since the beads tee is written in fingering weight yarn and I wanted to knit it in DK, I used the gauge switcheroo automated version and determined that if I wanted the size 3 of the sweater in fingering weight, I would knit size 1 in DK weight. And that's what I did. I used, this is my main color, and it is Navari from Sweet Mountain Crafts. Sorry, I should have had that in my brain ahead of time. I'm just like searching for it on the tag. It's not that hard to find. It is 100% Targhee wool, and it is not superwash, so I'll have to be careful with this. And it is a product of Wyoming and hand-dyed in Wyoming too. And then my contrasting color is a gradient yarn that was from Primrose Yarns, and it's called Homestead Sport. I've had this in my stash for a long time, and I had in my brain that it was DK weight yarn, but it's not. It's sport weight yarn, and I held it double, and it really did work just fine. I thought maybe holding it double would make it too big, because a lot of times you hold 2 fingerings together and that equals a DK, but this was light enough and it worked just great. I'm really happy with how it turned out, other than the fact that the gauge switcheroo is good for getting you cast on numbers and numbers for the body. It's not as good for row gauge, so you have to use your own judgment a little bit for the row gauge. And I think I separated for sleeves a little bit after I should have. Probably should have done it maybe 10 rows earlier. So it's roomy, but you know what? I'll be able to wear it this winter with a long sleeve t-shirt underneath, and it'll be just fine. It'll work perfect for that. So this is the beads tee. It will be a pattern that is written out so that you don't have to use the gauge switcheroo, and that will come out probably late winter. I will have it so that you'll know exactly how far you should go before you split for sleeves, so you don't have this bagginess in the underarm that I have on this one. Next thing that I'm working on is my lighthouse sweater, and that is the red sweater that is out of Chicken Lady Fiber Arts Americana, and the pattern is all written. It's at the tech editor right now, and I've got test knitters lined up. If you want to test knit, there's still time to get in on it if you do that in the next couple of days, and I'll put a link to the sign up form below in the description once again. So the test knit should start around August 20th and needs to be done then by October the 6th. DK weight yarn, as I said, I used Americana from Chicken Lady Fiber Arts, but if you've got a DK weight yarn that you'd like to use, as long as you can get gauge, that will work. So the lighthouse does have the raglans that are in brioche, so if you've wanted to give brioche a try, this is a good way to do it, where there's just a little section of it. The one caveat I will put in is brioche is not hard to do, and it gives you a really cushy, lovely fabric, and people really like doing brioche. Once you start, it's kind of you want to do more of it. It's really fun. It's not hard to do, but it is hard to fix if you make a mistake. So you might play around with the brioche before you start the sweater. You could just do a swatch with that, maybe cast on 7 stitches and just do that part of the sweater over and over again, just to make sure you've got it in your mind before you start on the sweater. So that's the lighthouse sweater. As I said, the test knit is going to begin on August 20th or right around then, and would need to be done by October the 6th. So if that sounds like something you'd want to do, click on the link in the description and sign up. I am working on this shawl, and this yarn is a gorgeous tonal blue. It's called Resistance, and it's from Tina at Awinted Yarns. And it's got several stitch patterns in it. I'm going to show you a close-up from a video that I took earlier, because this is not going to show it correctly. But it's got this stitch pattern that's just a 2-stitch repeat, and it is knit 1, knit 1 below. So rather than knitting into the stitch that's on the needle, you knit 1 row below. And I did it for several rows. That's the right side rows, knit 1 below. the wrong side row is just knit. So it's pretty easy to do. And then it just staggers every other time. So one row you start with knit below, knit one, and then the next row you start with knit one and then knit below, so that they're staggered in the fabric. There is texture there. It's a squishy fabric, and I'm like, I think this is brioche. It looks like brioche. It feels like brioche. I'm doing it in a different way, but I'm pretty sure it is exactly the same. So I did myself a little experiment. With the red, I did a brioche pattern that is also every other stitch. So I did slip one yarn over, knit one, slip one yarn over, knit one. And I was doing it on the right side of the fabric, but it quickly became the wrong side of the fabric, because on the other side you just knit every stitch, or knit BRK, knit BRK, and on the wrong side you're doing the slip one yarn over, knit, slip one yarn over, knit. Looks exactly the same. It's the gold, which is knit one below, knit one, knit one below, knit one. I cannot tell a difference in the fabric. Can you? I think it's brioche. Once again, there is more than one right way to do anything. And you know, the stitch book that I got the pattern out of is not super old, but it's a little on the older side. And maybe it's just chalked up to the fact that there is more than one way to do everything and to get really the exact same product and the exact same fabric at the end. So, is it brioche? Yes, I think it is. I have some comments from my last episode that I'd like to share. One from Sharon Hoyt. She says, I like that bead sweater. I like the idea of using a variegated yarn for the beads. And it really is nice. I mean, it's nice to see little spots of color, or a gradient where it just gradually changes color. I think either a variegated or a self-striping or a gradient all would work on the bead sweater. So remember, the fingering weight version is out now, and you can get that on my website. But the DK version, if you want to wait for that, should be out late winter or early spring. So you can grab that when it comes out. Eileen says, last time I talked about retiring, I retired from my day job back at the end of July, so I'm kind of, getting into my new normal now, and figuring out my timeline of how I do things, and just how to keep myself organized and busy. And it is so true what people say. I feel so busy now, I don't know how I had time to work. And I truly do feel that way. And I've got this little knitting business that I'm working on, but even if I wasn't, there are so many things that I want to do that it's great to be retired. I really am enjoying it. But Eileen said she retired from homeschooling, and her husband is retired, and it really is great. I got a question from Sarah May, who lives here in Indiana, and she asked if I entered anything in the state fair this year. She and I had talked about entering things in the state fair before, and I usually do. This year I did not, and it kind of, just with all the preparations for retiring, kind of got pushed to the side, and I never did it. And I really, when I went and looked at the items that were there, it seems like there are less and less each year. And that's why I kept entering, because I want to keep our craft going. I want to promote it to all kinds of people. So I am going to make a point to enter again next year. And I hope all of you do too. Sarah, that includes you. I want to see your name in there. She said she was looking for my items, and they have the knitted and crocheted items behind glass, and then the tag showing who made the item is laying in a way that it's kind of a folded piece of paper, and so it's not always at a good angle that you can read it, and through that glass kind of far away with my old eyes, it's hard to read. So you're looking at people's things trying to figure out who made it, and if you know that person, and it's really kind of a struggle to see what is what there. Lynn from Chicken Lady Fiber Art says, I have the Virgin Cal and still haven't cast on, but I will. Shelley says, the red sweater is awesome. That's Shelley Williams from Oregon. And she says she's getting that pattern ASAP. Shelley, I put you on the tester list because I really would like you to test. So you'll be hearing from me soon. Deidre says the cowl is awesome. And Yarn Chicken ETM says she really likes the bead tee also and wondered if I'd do a knit along for that. So that probably will be coming in the spring, Tara. And Kat Hurd, I'm not sure where Kat is from, but she asked how many yards are needed for the DK weight yarn, and I did answer her, though I didn't print that out, so I can't remember what it is now, but I weighed this sweater and told her how much I used for the size that I made. So those are just some of the comments from the last podcast. If you have any questions or want to ask me about anything, please leave me a comment. I do love to read your comments, and I don't always put them on the podcast, but I do always read them and I do always answer, and I really appreciate you taking the time to comment. Thank you all so much for watching today. I really appreciate you being here with me, enjoying my backyard. It is starting to heat up. I'm getting a bit warm, so I need to sign off, and I hope to see y'all in a couple of weeks. Thanks.